shade of green is a grinder.
All right, what is up, YouTube? I'm on a walk right now. Please excuse my hair, trying something new. Anyways, I was thinking about what kind of video I wanted to make this week, and it occurred to me that I've never really given the whole kind of timeline of what happened to me this last year as far as cancer and moving to Italy and all that. I kind of wanted to just explain in detail everything that really happened, because there's a lot of stuff that you guys don't even really know about that I went through. I think it's just probably kind of interesting for you guys to hear. Also, just to clear up any misconceptions. To start things off, we can circle back all the way to the beginning, before I even found out that I had cancer. Well, first of all, I got married in 2024 in June. This is probably the beginning of when I started to really notice some changes in my health, and my wife can attest to this. Just little things like getting sick more often. It was very unlike me to get sick at all, and I got sick several times, and it wouldn't be for like a couple of days. It's just really weird, but of course I ignored it as usual. Fast forward to September. This was when my wife had already gone to Italy for her duty station. If you guys don't know, she's in the army. So I was hanging back waiting on my orders to get over there. At the time, I was prepping for USAPL Nationals 2024, feeling like garbage. Body was beat up, lifts were going terribly, and then I was already contemplating dropping out. And then I got to my peak, like my week 4 heaviest session, and I think I got up to like a 550 squat that day, and it was like RPE 9. So I was supposed to go 600 plus, called it. Bench, I only went up to like 400. And then deadlift, I think I went to pick up like 2 reds or 3 reds, and I got sciatica down my whole back. Awful session. I was already contemplating dropping out, so I did. And then I took like a 3-month bodybuilding break. Then eventually I got over to Italy with my wife, and I started powerlifting again. I was much weaker at the time. I just chalked it up to like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just getting back into the swing of things. Let's just fast forward to like after that point, I was beginning to get this cough. This was like not too far into my time in Italy, which was only 4 months, by the way. I developed this cough, and at first it went away. I was like, okay, just ignored that too. Then it came back, and it got a lot worse. So I was starting to feel very tired and fatigued, as I was for the past several months. So my symptoms were like elevated heart rate, cough, night sweats, migraines. Oh, these horrible migraines. They would keep me up all night. Actually, if you guys are interested, I have an Instagram video, a little reel about like 7 signs I had cancer. And I go over more in depth about my symptoms. So if you guys want to check that out, please do so if you're interested. I know a lot of people are kind of like a little bit scared, I guess, to see somebody so young and healthy get cancer. Kind of makes them wonder. So it's good to know what the potential symptoms are. So if you guys want to go check out what I experienced, maybe I'll put a link or something in the description of this video. Anywho, I had my family over for Christmas at the end of December. And at this point, my cough was very bad. Kind of figured I had like pneumonia or some sort of pretty rough respiratory illness. My whole family kind of begged me to go to the doctor, and I agreed. So after they left, I went to the doctor in the beginning of January. I went to a Italian doctor. They gave me like Mucinex, basically, the Italian version, which was not the problem. I didn't even have any mucus, by the way. That was interesting. And then I went to the army doctor, and they did some x-rays, did some blood work, some urine analysis, told me there was something in my chest, but they didn't know what it was. And that was all I got for several weeks. And I was getting progressively more sick up until the end of my time in Italy. My wife had flown out to Georgia, Columbus, Georgia, in the States to do some army training. I stayed back for about a week because our flights didn't line up. So yeah, I wanted to go support her and watch her graduate from airborne school. If you guys are army people, you know what that is. So yeah, I flew over there about a week later, slept one night, and in the morning we decided to go to the ER just to get seen. So we went to the Fort Moore ER rather, and told them my symptoms. And then that's when things started to get pretty serious. They were taking everything I said very seriously. And actually at first they thought that I had tuberculosis, or at least a potential of it. So they put me in like a quarantine room. I think they took some blood. Then they were able to actually do a CT scan, which I hadn't done, only x-rays so far. So as soon as they did the CT, they got the results back right away. And they came in my room and they said, there is a gigantic mass, a mediastinal mass in my chest, right about here. Their explanation of what it was either one of two things: a germ cell tumor or lymphoma. So that is when we heard the news, kind of. They didn't give me a diagnosis, of course, but that was like their two options basically of what it was. So yeah, they gave us that info and left the room, and me and my wife kind of just stared at each other for a second and like started to process what we just heard. We both had the feeling that something worse was going on than like pneumonia, because they just couldn't give me an answer in Italy at all. And yeah, that's when it really started to set in that I probably have cancer. It's not confirmed yet, but you know, they know, these doctors, they've seen it time and time again, and they kind of know what they're looking at. So although they didn't have a biopsy to prove it, that's really when I found out that I had cancer. After that, it was just a matter of, you know, getting a exact diagnosis and starting treatment, really. All right, guys, I have decided that I will make this a 3-part series. So I'll leave you off with this. So January 17th was the day that basically found out I had cancer. Like I said, not confirmed yet, but so after that, they transferred me to a civilian hospital called St. Francis Emory, still in Columbus, Georgia. And this is where things got pretty serious. I will leave you guys off there, and I will pick up in part 2, start to explain the rest. Thank you guys for watching. If you all have any questions, please leave them down in the comments, and I can maybe go over it in the next video and kind of clear up whatever. But either way, I will see you next time to continue this story. Just remember, guys, when we are weak, then we are strong. Peace out.